Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review WeWork, or the making and breaking of $47 billion unicorn. And this is a new documentary from Hulu, and this focuses on the company WeWork from Adam Newman. And this documentary from Jed Rothstein takes a look at this strange company that kind of came out of nowhere, building up all of this value, $1 billion worth of value. And what were they? What did they do? They basically set up We Live, which are these building complexes where people just live together in just this communal fraternity kind of setup, and most of them worked at WeWork, and they're not they're not part of realty. They specifically said that, but what was the end goal? What did they actually do? And this documentary answers some of those things, because that's the thing. Is there really an answer to what they do besides try to scam and get money? That's a good question. And this film starts off with Adam Newman trying to do this little presentation and taking a couple of takes. You really get a sense into who this guy is. And he's very enigmatic, very charismatic. He's this leader that roped in a whole bunch of people into believing in this business and wanting to invest in this business. Friends with Ashton Kutcher. And at some point that was probably a big deal. And you have this film that's really focusing on the slow, and I mean slow, build up to what this company was and their downfall and their spiral. And in this film, I felt like the setup was great. Building up intrigue got me pulled in. I was definitely down to figure out what this company was doing. But after a while, for this hour and 45-minute film, it started to really drag and lose energy and felt repetitive in how the story was being told. And after a while, I kind of was just like, I got the gist of the story. Do I need to watch another 40 minutes of this film? And that was the tricky thing, because this is an intriguing story and so strange and unbelievable. But the way that this documentary portrays it is a little lagging and a little lacking. You get scenes where it just takes really long to play out specific ideas or occurrences, and then you have a lot of repetitive kind of things. Basically, every time they kept showing Adam Newman in this film, it was just him selling some BS. The same kind of BS that sounded 100% like BS, but never really went anywhere. And this kind of reminded me of those Fyre Fest documentaries. It had the same basic setup, but I feel like this film didn't really capture that same kind of energy throughout, really building up this insanity. And in the end, I felt like, okay, I learned what I needed to learn from this documentary in a lot less time than this documentary actually ran. But in general, I feel like it's an intriguing and crazy story. It definitely has its moments of building up intrigue and suspense at times, especially when there's this one woman who was given the passwords by her boss, and she was the one who found out that they weren't in a good place and they were trying to cut people. And those kinds of moments really stuck out in an otherwise really straightforward and unremarkable way of storytelling for a very remarkable story. And that's, I guess, where it's pretty disappointing. But in general, I feel like this documentary, WeWork, delivers enough to inform you of this story and pique your interest. You might have to go a little bit more of your own digging. But in general, I think this documentary is effective, does its job, and definitely points us in the direction of one crazy story. But those are my thoughts on WeWork. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.